Hello everyone, my name is not Markiplier, unfortunately. I'm sorry, I can't give you that good entertainment. Hi. This is Kaz, and we're going to be presenting a little thing to you with a guest person here. Kairhanos. Say hello, Kairhanos.
Hey everybody, I just want to apologize up front for all my coughing. I'm still kind of sick. I have been battling the flu for like the last week, but I'm not going to let that slow me down. And I'm really, really eager to talk about this subject. Me and Kaz here, we just made an overwhelming discovery.
Indeed, and kudos to him for being able to combat the flu like that instead of being in bed like a pussy, because in Soviet Russia, when you get flu, you punch flu in face and then go fight bear. He is true Russian. Well, mostly. He doesn't fight bear. Point is, speaking of bears, let's talk about Freddy Fazbear's. We saw Markiplier's video of Five Nights at Freddy's 3 and his little playthrough the first two nights. That's when we noticed something. Some of y'all may have noticed a little something hiding behind the wall at around 9:40-ish on the video, 9 minutes 40 seconds. And what we saw was roughly that. Back there. This isn't large when it comes to the size of it and brightness, but yeah, that was playing peekaboo at you.
And could you go down to the
I
picture
will.
of the... Or,
I shall. We initially thought, like a lot of people, it's just the animatronic spying on you, so it knows how to plot its move. Like the hunter it is. It's got the eye of the tiger, and it wants to thrill the fight. However, I was taking a good look at that real quick there. You guys see a good look at that shape of the ear here, stuff like that? That's not the new animatronic!
mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, look at the ear. It's for starters, it's pointed, and that is like a certain character we know. Another thing I noticed is that its right ear is completely missing.
Not even the little lump. You got one section of the ear left on the new animatronic. You got nothing there. Trust me, I've gone there and edited that thing, adjusted contrast, brightness, applied 100 different filters. I can't find any trace of the other ear. Then there
Yeah,
comes to the distance of the eyes. If you notice how close together the eyes are on little Franken rabbit here, and there's a differencing in the spacing there. If anything, at the distance from here to back behind that glass, they'll be closer together, not further apart.
yeah. Another thing I want to point out is that if you look towards its face, you can kind of the new ones, not new one, the secret animatronic, I guess. We'll reveal who we think he is in a minute.
Hmm?
If you look towards his face, you'll kind of see like some fur curled up, and that right there should make it a pretty dead giveaway with the pointed ear and everything,
And what looks like a
um,
possible ear ring,
or a wire perhaps.
wire, whatever.
Um, at any rate, um, who we think this is we think it's Foxy.
Indeed.
And you can just tell. I mean, Kaz, if you could pull up an image of Foxy to compare, they look stunningly similar.
I can do that, absolutely. I probably should have saved one of those in advance. Oh well. However, we can just go to Google, no problem, because let's try to avoid the NSFW searches, which thank God there is none of. There he is.
Yeah, and then you look at that, and then you look at our image. Just remove the ear, and that's pretty much what we're looking at.
Indeed, if you notice the side of his ear right here, and this is a fan image, obviously not an official one, but they keep pretty true to the actual stuff. How that is shaped with that, albeit this, I mean, maybe it's due to a fan image that ear is missing, I don't know, but the ear curvature is very similar with if his ear was pricked up and whatnot, which makes sense since he's got his attention on you. Animals prick their ears up with attention. Also, which makes sense too, is this little curly thing here possibly being that as well. But so there's no speculation, let's go ahead and find an official picture of Foxy. Even though there's lots of awesome art here. Yeah, here we go, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Right from the first game. If you
Yeah,
look at that, that is a very, very stunning, very, very stunning similarities right there. Guys, at first I completely blew it off when you noticed it, and then after you sent me the images and I got to playing around with them, I was like, holy shit, that is Foxy.
Yeah, I definitely think so, especially based on the ear shape. I mean, because if you go back to the new animatronic, I mean, it's, I guess, got Bonnie 1.0 or 2.0, whoever the hell you want to call them's heads. So it's got the floppy rabbit ear things that are thin, narrow. Foxy's are curved.
Yeah, and
They got a
the
curve.
thing I want to point out is like with I want to call that thing salvage. That name just seems to fit it so well.
No kidding.
When you look at Salvage's ears, they're very blocky and they're at the top of his head, while Foxy's they're curved, they're very animalistic, and they're more towards the sides of his head. That's the thing that made me think it was Foxy. I immediately recognized it as Foxy.
Indeed, I mean the places on the head do in fact match down to. This could just be a trick of the light and the shading, but it looks like there might be a divot in the head right there. And you see that also on Foxy 1.0 as well, where the ear meets the head. There's a little divot there for to allow for motion and pivoting and such. A couple other pictures we got here are ones he did. This is one he started off with here. He did a little filter editing with this. You can somewhat see the outline a bit more. Bit of a color filter added to that to make the outline a little more obvious. And that one with more or less the same thing, just in a different color.
Yeah. I think in the one that we used in the that one right there,
Yes.
that one is the most clear of all of the ones I did.
Yes, indeed.
Mind you, I don't really have any expensive software, so I pretty much use Pixlr for all my editing.
Somebody hasn't heard of GIMP.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, because somebody's on a phone.
Well, I used Pixlr on my computer. It was just what I knew of that I could use without downloading. I might check out GIMP. I've just never had a chance to do it.
It's not bad. It's like a semi-watered down, but just as capable, free Photoshop, more or less.
Yeah. Pixlr is like the love child of Photoshop and MS Paint.
Yeah, pretty much. But let's not get off on a tangent about art programs here.
Yeah, indeed. Let's focus on the subject matter.
Now, this is a screen cap I did right from Markiplier's video, because there's the big guy himself.
The god.
God. The god of gaming.
Markiplier.
You're not worthy. You're not worthy.
You're not worthy.
Point is, as you can see, I have screwed around with the contrast and brightness overall for the picture itself, and then highlighted, as we suppose Foxy's area is, and I've done some color editing on it to kind of bring out the lines and background and such. And I did two versions of this one with that, and the other version is the same thing, just with a sharpen tool added for that.
Yeah, and the sharpen tool really made a difference. Your sharpen tool edited image is the clearest out of everything we've done.
Thank you.
But it's like it definitely shows that just it really really brings them to the light. But that is definitely not salvage. That
Heck
is definitely no. Foxy.
I agree, because especially if you look at the head contour as well. I mean, let's go to the unsharpened one for this. Oh, hi. Thank you, scroll wheel. That was embarrassing. Dang it. My scroll does not like me. Point is, you can see the curvature of the head, how it does right there, and it comes up for where the other ear would be right there, or we start off for. And we presume it will come down about here-ish. And if this is anything to go by, you can see the rest of the head kind of here in many pixels. This is the best we could get because how dark it was. But you take that head contour. Let's go back to that. That is a drastically different head contour.
Yeah, it is. Another thing I really want to point out is a lot of people are probably saying, well, how can that be Foxy? I mean, we see his head hanging up. And that's a good question. Here's what I believe. I believe it's possible that this could be a hallucination of Foxy. It's all we've already hallucinated with Balloon Boy. If you watch Markiplier's videos, when the character hallucinates, you can see that it is Balloon Boy very clearly, and that's what I think this is. I think this is supposed to be a hallucination.
That,
That's
or if you want to go from a non-psychedelic Principal Man and go with a more grounded one, if I guess you could say, because by the way, I do think the theory is good, but I know some people be like, well, what if he's not hallucinating? Well, I think in that case, well, you saw spare parts room in the last two games. They have parts of different animatronics, and there's no reason that couldn't be an additional Foxy part that they clobbered together and such. And there's also the fact that if I'm not going to give us as a spoiler, just listen to what the guy says on the first night. This phone guy here we can call him here in the game. Listen to what he says on the first night. In case anyone hasn't seen Markiplier's video, I'm not going to ruin it for you, so therefore you're spared from that. But those are two theories we have on that. So
and that actually draws me to an interesting fan theory I heard. It was kind of a suggestion, but also a theory that Salvage might actually rebuild some of the animatronics over the nights.
indeed, if you watch Markiplier's video, it's frightening as all get out. And if that thing right there, if that piece of hell rebuilds the animatronics to send after you, oh my God, God help you, God help you.
Yeah, I really can't wait to get this game now. I mean, I'm so eager to play it now after discovering this. But that really is a possibility that Salvage is, um, you know, putting together the other animatronics. Perhaps he's actually put Foxy back together, and that's Foxy. And maybe once you get to playing the full game, you might actually discover other animatronics, you know, being put together and coming after you as well. I think that overall this is going to be very, very interesting. Um, so overall, I think that pretty much wraps everything up, doesn't it?
Agreed, absolutely does.
So, in the comments section, we're going to upload this video to both of our channels. Tell us what you guys think. Do you think that we're right? Do you think we're full of shit?
And if so, please tell us why you think we're full of shit. And don't just go, you're full of shit. Why? Because. I'm sorry, the judges won't accept that answer.
Yeah, exactly. Just overall, let us know what you think.
And add your own theories in there, too, because we want to hear what you guys think, too, because who knows, what you guys say may... Yeah, what you guys say may also spring us to some ideas and go, hey, that's not bad, but what if about this angle, this, and so on and so forth, and thus lead to contribution to the fandom knowledge and such. So, alright guys, thanks a bunch. This has been Kezra Tornvar, the Nordic Stag, and Kairhanos, the Lord of Robotic Darkness. And we will catch you later.
I know, I was there, don't you know? And frankly, Salvage be an asshole. We be seeing you here next time, lads. I'm pretty Fazbear!